where you allocated the rice, 2015. Go where you allocated the beans, 2015. Go where you allocated the garlic, 2015. Go where you allocated the vino, 2015. Go where you allocated the petrol, kerosene. But you don't talk about the kerosene. I really don't whether the kerosene with you know to go. Now, come for the right, even remember the winter garden. Then there was an about I mean, your party ready.
On his part, the PDP candidate for Economic Benefactor constituency, Prince Dong, said Tekpere noted that politics must be truthful and commend that Ikpe people for being realistic, frank, open and honest, submitting that with what he has witnessed in Ikpe, the party can go to sleep that PDP is on a very safe ground in Ikpe. Addressing the rally, the Obong, Iberian, Ikpe and PDP candidates for Sinodom State's constituency, Prince Upong Akpabio said, the son of Ikpe by virtue of the traditional title of late Itayafe Enang, Okuku Pius Efeongiside, better than him, he will not disappoint Ikpe people. Also speaking, the chairman of the Synodom, Anthony Liu, warned that no man plays God and goes unhurt, describing Ikpe people as truthful people. He said the PDP need not campaign in Ikpe when both the member representing a Synodom State's constituency and the PDP chapter chairman hails from. He further assured that Bassey Synodom will do well as senator. Meanwhile, the PDP candidate for a Synodom State's constituency, Prince Upong Akpabio II, says his emergence as a party's flag bearer for the 2023 State House of Assembly election is a reward for his many years of loyalty and service, selflessness, diligence, and dedication to duty spanning more than 2 decades. Speaking during a PDP Senatorial House of Representatives and Assembly Ward campaign for Okana West, held at Methodist Primary School Field, Okana, Akobakama, a Synodom local government area, the immediate past Commissioner for Trade and Investment said he remains eternally grateful to the PDP for rewarding loyalty, hard work, and dedication, and selfless service to humanity, which supported him out for reward and commendation. Prince Akpabio, who paid glowing tributes to Governor Domimano, noted with delight that through the governor's magnanimity, he was chosen and offered a higher platform of service to his Synodom people and Akwa Ibom in general, and admonished others not to despair as God has a way of miraculous timing and blessings to perfect his will and glorify his name in their lives. Addressing the rally at Civic Center Ikpe, the Obong Iberidem Ikpe and PDP candidates for Synodom State's constituency, Prince Upong Akpabio said the son of Ikpe, by virtue of the traditional title, the late Itayafe Enang Okuku Pius Efeongiside, better than him, he will not disappoint Ikpe people. Going down memory lane, Prince Akpabio recalled that it was an Ikpe son led Friday Udoituk who met his late father, the chairman of the Synodom, and assured that the age-long family bond between him and the people of Ikpe will be sustained, nurtured, and consolidated. He promised to renovate the Ikpe Civic Center within his first 6 months in office as state legislature by fencing and upgrading of the pavilion to create comfort, the desired aesthetics befitting a civic center in Ikpe ward. He vowed to ensure the PDP wins the 2023 polls and placed emphasis on the victory of Barrister Enoidem come February 25th so as to end 63 years of marginalization of Abak Federal constituency, which he noted cannot be allowed to continue. He further assured the people that Barrister Enoidem will offer the Anang Nation and Economic Benefactor District effective representation as senator. Prince Upong Akpabio assured his constituents of effective legislative representation, periodical interface, monthly empowerment of women so as to restore the Synodom to its pride of place as a demonstration of his determination to create a dawn of a new era for his people. Away from that, the Center for Human Rights Accountability Network Kran, Akwa State Councils visited Taft Media Group owners of Plant FM, Spectrum Television and Thanks FM to seek partnership ahead of the forthcoming governorship town hall meeting, which will host all the candidates in the state to answer questions on their plans to govern the people. Speaking during the meeting with the management of Taft Media Group, the state director, Tuekong Franklin Song, who described Plant FM as the first private radio station, commended them for a job well done so far. Song noted that the Kran has been in existence for years, but it is only just begun in Akwa State because of the interest of people for good governance and accountability. He said that collaborating with the radio and television stations to air the meeting live will help the people to interact properly with the preferred candidate. Song said that the aim of the meeting is to give the candidates an opportunity to reach out to people at the grassroots level and communicate more effectively.
There is need for us to be able to hold our political office holders accountable. There is need for us to have good governance. There is need for us to begin to see development on ground, not on paper. So that when our political office holders tells us that they have done this, we need to see those things. It's not like a debate format. Ours is just candidate now, speaking to their manifestos and then being able to explain what they have in their manifestos. We intend to have live coverage because by the time it is streamed live in all the sessions we have in the state, definitely anyone who has access to radio in the rural area will to hear them directly. And when questions are asked, the way they are able to answer it will also let them know that this person understands what he or she has in his blueprint.
Talking good governance and accountability, Song also used the opportunity to appeal to Akwa State government to complete the construction of the 8.5 kilometers Ndowetongo-Ibiako-Ran Ekiritam rail project, noting that it has become difficult to assess the road. Kran noted that the project appeared to have been abandoned as there was no sign of anything happening on the road in the past 2 years. No equipment seen on the project site. The constructor was nowhere near the project site during the time of the Kran's visit to Taft Media Group. Comrade Song therefore appealed to Governor Emmanuel to direct the State Ministry of Works and Fire Service to take over the project in order to ensure its timely completion and commission before the end of the administration.
Talking about good governance and accountability, there is need for the government of Akwa State to look into the Ibiako-Ran road. This road has become a nightmare to the people of rural local government area. Kran is disturbed and the government had commenced this project beginning from the Ndowetongo axis. So I am appealing to the governor, Excellency Governor Emmanuel, to look into this Ndowetongo-Ibiako-Ran road so as to enable this area open up for economic activities.
Responding, the General Manager of Taft Media Group, Sunday Edet, thanked Kran for its recognition and assured them of Taft Media's support in ensuring the success of the town hall meeting. He expressed optimism that the road project would be completed, as Governor Emmanuel has promised to complete all projects initiated by his administration before the end of his tenure.
For believing in us and for preparing us for an endeavor as important as the town hall meeting. The thing we can always assure you is that we're available for such partnership when it has to do with the governance of the state, and just so that the people who have to vote will have to vote for the right candidates. Akwa is at some level, needs to get beyond this level. The thing that we are sure that we need to do to get beyond this level is to bring the right set of people into office. And talking about our role, we're believing that our governor, who is a listening governor, will hear our plea.
General Manager of Taft Media Group, Sunday Edet, speaking. Now, to the national scene, where the federal government has said that plans were afoot to create a database that would comprehensively capture the details of missing persons within the country as a result of insecurity, armed conflict, among other factors. The Executive Secretary of the National Human Rights Commission, NHRC, Tony Ojukwu, disclosed this at a meeting of stakeholders involved in the compilation of missing persons in Nigeria. The meeting was organized by the Federal Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development, in collaboration with the International Committee of the Red Cross, ICRC, and NHRC. Ojukwu was represented by the Director of Human Rights Institute, the former Wakama, said that the family members of the missing persons had continued to seek answers from the government on the whereabouts of their loved ones. In her remarks, the Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development, Hajia Farouk, said that irregular migration by many Nigerians, including children, through cross borders, the Sahara Desert and the Mediterranean Sea in search of safety and a better life each year often contributed to the great risk of disappearance. Farouk, was represented by the Permanent Secretary of the Ministry, Mr. Guazo, added that the latest figures show that out of the 64,000 disappeared persons across Africa, Nigeria is recording over 25,000 missing persons, including over 14,000 children. Away from that, the European Union has allocated 102.5 million euros in humanitarian aid to help vulnerable communities in Nigeria, Niger, Chad, and Cameroon as the humanitarian situation continues to deteriorate in the Lake Chad region. The organization, in a statement, said violence in the region, where the civilian population is increasingly the victim of targeted attacks, is resulting in large-scale displacement, disruption of livelihoods, and lack of access to basic services. The pledge was made on the occasion of the high-level conference on the Lake Chad region held in Niamey, Niger. The total amount for 2023, it added, would be distributed as follows: Nigeria, 34 million euros, Niger, 25 billion euros, Chad, 26.5 billion euros, and Cameroon, 17 million euros. The funding, according to reports, is part of the total 181.5 million euro allocated this year for the Lake Chad Basin, the Central African Republic, and the Sahel. The EU Commissioner for Crisis Management, Janez Lenarčič, said over 24 million people in these four countries are estimated to need humanitarian assistance, an increase of 9.5% from last year. You're listening to the news on Planet Radio, 101.1 FM. Let's take a breather and then bring more stories from our foreign sports and entertainment scenes. So stay with us.
So, my son, welcome to the Kalangulo Shrine. The gods are with us. What can I do for you?
Baba, the way you do me, and I even sick, self. I think say him give me HIV.
Eh? No.
What do you mean, Baba?
No way anybody fits use witch give you HIV. If anybody tell you that one, na lie dem talk. Because witch no fit give person HIV.
No matter how the wind strong, nobody fit give or carry HIV from witchcraft.
New Zealand Prime Minister, after stunning the country by announcing her abrupt departure from the role last week. New Prime Minister Chris Hipkins, 44, was sworn in by New Zealand's Governor General during a ceremony in the capital, Wellington. Hipkins said after formally taking office that it is the biggest privilege and responsibility of his life. Recall that Aden said last week she no longer had enough in the tank after steering the country through natural disasters, its worst ever terror attack, and the COVID-19 pandemic. She made her last public appearance as Prime Minister earlier today, walking out of Parliament as hundreds of onlookers broke into a spontaneous round of applause. Now to sports, where Newcastle United hold a slender advantage from the Carabao Cup semi-final first leg as Joe Linton's goal gave them victory at Southampton. The Brazilian made amends for missing an earlier easy opportunity when he arrived on the end of subsidy Alexander Isak's perfect low cross to make the decisive contribution with 17 minutes left. Newcastle will now be favourites to reach their first major Wembley final since the FA Cup in 1999 as they attempt to end trophy drought stretching back to the 1969 Intercities Fairs Cup win. The two sides will meet at St James's Park in the second leg on Tuesday, 31st January. Now on the entertainment scene. The multi-award-winning actor Ifeanyi Emmanuel Igboke, popularly known as Emmanuel Igboke, is set to star in an upcoming movie titled Facade. The movie is produced by Irene Owachi and directed by Wale Donald. Actor Emmanuel announced that the movie is his first project of 2023. That's when the news on Planet Radio 101.1 FM. But before we go, a recap of the major stories. And the news, we told you that the federal government plans a database for 25,000 missing Nigerians. Also brought to news that the EU has pledged 102.5 million euros for Nigeria and other countries in the Lake Chad region. Also in the news, we brought you the reports that the YPP governorship candidate, Senator Bassey Albert, has promised to prioritize health and tourism development in Ukanafun local government if elected. On the foreign scene, we told you that Chris Hipkins has been sworn in as New Zealand's new Prime Minister. While it's sport reported that Newcastle beat Southampton 1-0 to hold a slender Carabao Cup semi-final lead, the team meets again in 7 days' time at St. James's Park. For comments and coverage of newsworthy events, call Niche 08127702940. That is 08127702940. Visit our website on planet101fm.ng and follow us on Twitter at planet_101fm. You can also like our verified Facebook page at Planet101FM. The news was edited by Isaiah Udon-Jane Owa. As we end the news, remember that there are 3 ways to ultimate success. The first way is to be kind. The second way is to be kind. The third way is to be kind. So show kindness to someone. Today, I am bright. James, good afternoon and thank you.